This is a Muslim website. It's called IslamicLandmarks.com. The Kaaba. The Kaaba is also known as Baytullah. The word Bayt, by the way, is not an Arabic word. This is an Aramaic word, and this is why you find it in Hebrew too, like Beit Lahem, Beit Lahya, Beit. This is a word in old Aramaic. And what happened usually, that people who worship God, they build a house for God, and that the house of God. You will see here Baytu. If you read with me, guys, when I say to Muslims that Allah is not the name of your God, do you see even how the Muslims they wrote the word Baytu lah? Baytu lah. Baytu mean the house. Lah is the house of Lah. I don't know how clear the text is coming to you. I hope so. So look what we will find here. The Muslim described to us how the Baytu Lah, the house of Lah, is built. Who is the one who constructed the house? The Muslims will shower us with tons of stories, and we will read some of them for you right in the front of us. Please don't hesitate to invite your friends to be with us. This is very important video, even though I wasn't planning for it, but as long as the sister and her family they requested, and she promised she will leave Islam today if I can prove the Kaaba to be a false house of God. The Kaaba has been built or adjusted on several occasions throughout history. The most famous builder are the angels, who originally constructed the first man and prophet. So the Muslims confirm that the first one who built the Kaaba, it was who? It was who, guys? The angels. Who is the one who chose the location of the Kaaba? Allah. All right. If Allah is the one who chose the location of the Kaaba, and as you see, it says constructed many times, and the Kaaba actually, by the way, destroyed many times. One of them, Al-Qurmuti, who destroyed the Kaaba, and he took the black stone, and the Muslim they have to bribe him for after 21 years, and they got pieces of it. They did not get even the black stone. So how we can prove that Allah cannot be God and the Kaaba cannot be the house of God? Based on what we just saw right now, there's tons of stories that as an example, Allah he told Adam to go, and Allah he sent Adam to Sri Lanka, which is supposedly India, and all the way from Sri Lanka, Adam came all the way there. We don't know how he came, and he was and in Mecca there was 40,000 angels waiting for him, and Allah placed for him the black stone there as a mark land for him to build with the angels the Kaaba. So the one who placed the mark stone is Allah himself. He chose the location, he chose the spot. He is the one who did landscaping choice. Now here, and I'm going to wait, I'm not going to make this video long. I can prove that Islam, all of it is false, and Allah cannot be God based on this story. If Allah is the one who chose the location of the Kaaba, why Allah chose the wrong location? Guys, how many of you heard of a city? It's called New Orleans. New Orleans. You heard of it? It's a city above the location of it is under the sea level, which means the one who chose the location, he made a stupid mistake. And every year almost, or every few years, this city is flooded and covered totally by water, causing damage of billions of dollars. Stupid mistake. The Kaaba is no better. If Allah the one who chose the location of the Kaaba, why he chose a place is going to be flooded always? If we go in the Kaaba, look at the pictures. All those pictures showing us one disaster, that Allah he chose the worst location. The Kaaba always flooded. And when the Kaaba is flooded, it's flooded with what? With bad water, sewage. Because when the rain come, the Kaaba is in the lowest location of Mecca. All the water of the sewage, there's no sewage by the way, there's like holes in the ground, and the poo is gathered there. So when the rain come, everything will be floating in the top of the water. And then the Kaaba will be covered by dirt and mud and poo and water from everywhere. Those are old pictures. You see, I'm not making my own. As you see, this is history. This guy is even swimming here. Do you see it? Do you see how high the water? So if Allah is the one who chose the location of the Kaaba, why Allah? You see, if Allah is God, right? Let us say that the location of the Kaaba is perfect for Allah. Can't He make the earth go up a little bit, like 20 meters up, so it's not going to be flooded? Can't He change the landscape? Can He touch it by finger and his finger and make it in the top of a hill or a mountain? Why Allah He chose such a stupid location? If Allah is the one who chose the location of the Kaaba, that's mean Allah is the worst of engineers. Look at this. Do you see it? Imagine you ask a company to choose for you the perfect location to build your house, and then every year your house is flooded by garbage and by sewage. I'm going to sue them. Remember, the one who chose this is Allah. How Allah can make such a mistake? He chose the lowest spot in the Kaaba, in the city. He could not find better place. After the Saudi, they get a lot of money from the oil, so they made a lot of project to prevent the water from flooding the Kaaba, but still it's not working. Like just a few years ago, the Kaaba was flooded again. So I do not need really to work hard to prove to you that this is cannot be the house of God. I do not need to prove it. It's in front of you. This is the proof. There's no way God will choose his house to be in a place where it's going to be flooding by poo and sewage and piss. That is the worst choice for anyone who work in the field of building. How about God? There's no way someone he have a little intelligence, he will build a house in such a place. This is the Kaaba in the year 1973. Look at the difference after the oil and before the oil. Look at this. It was like a stable and a bunch of stores around it. Do you see it? There's no marble. The ground was dust. There's a little those are stores for food and goods and etc. It's a market. This is 1973, not 1400 years ago. Do you see it? Disgusting place, dirty. People are go around and over this dirt. They have their camels and their donkeys, and people they buy and sell. You know, remember when Jesus he kicked the people from the temple of God, from the square of the temple of God, for he said to them, "You made the house of my father a place for buying and selling." The house of the father of Abraham, or the house of Abraham, as you call it, it is nothing but a bazaar of buying and selling, and this is until now, almost until 1937. And when the American and the British people they discovered the oil, then the money start coming, and then they start fixing and repairing, and now they have marble, and now they have light, they have fans, they have air conditioning, but that will not change anything that the Kaaba is in the worst location. How Allah can be God and he makes such a mistake? Very funny, very silly religion. I just received a message from the sister who she said, if I prove to her that the Kaaba is not cannot be a choice made by the true God, she will leave Islam, and she just agreed that I'm right, and this is cannot be God who choose this location. I told her I will prove it to you in a few minutes. It's not going to take me long. And glory to the Lord. She agreed, and I hope she will agree soon with her family that she will leave Islam and she will accept the Messiah as her own savior. This is nothing but a pagan religion. There was 26 Kaaba in the Arabian Peninsula, at least, and it was nothing but a bazaar and a market. You do not need to be genius to decide if this is a choice by Allah, if he is God or not. I mean, if he is God, there is no way he will choose such a location where the flood will come over every year, and you know, you see, in Saudi Arabia, there is not much rain, but still, he chose the wrong location. You know what I mean? I mean, there is not too much rain, but isn't it Allah? He knew what happened every year, that when little rain come, this area will be flooded. Don't Allah knew that this is the lowest spot? He should not choose it. He could not find a better place. There is no way a true God will make such a wrong decision, and he will, you know, accept this place to be a place of worship and consider it as the house of God. And then the Muslim, they start fabricating stories, says even birds cannot fly in the top of the Kaaba. You know, the other day I showed you the video where the birds are flying. An airplane cannot fly over the Kaaba. And look at the difference between the Kaaba today and the Kaaba yesterday. You see what oil can do? You see what the oil can do? Today they try to make it like lighting and marble, and what is this is all about? And the funny, they say to us that we Muslims, we are consistent with our religion. We don't change that, we keep it as it is. Everything you change, even the house of the devil, they replace it with the concrete one. Everything they have is false. Look at this. God, he need a room, and this room is his house. I advise Allah to buy a flooding insurance. We can call Geico for you, or some American companies. You can buy insurance for flood. So, you know, like if your furniture destroyed and your idols are broken or something, they float over the water, well, they will pay you. Look at the disgusting water. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, what is that? This is the house of God, who God, he chose it to be his place, his location. And obviously, Allah, he made the best choice. So, you know, obviously, this is cannot be the house of God, and you do not need to be genius. There is no way God will choose a wrong location, will be flooded every. And look at this one. Look. Look. This is around the Kaaba. Look, flood all over. Not only inside the Kaaba, even the town around. Because if you notice here, how the mountain is so close to the Kaaba, and that make the water go down. This is the bottom of the mountain. There is a mountain, it's called Qubais, next to the Kaaba. And this is what the Muslim believe, that during the flood of Noah, you see Adam, he built the Kaaba, right? So then the flood of Noah came and destroyed the Kaaba, but Allah, he hide the black stone inside the belly of the mountain, which is the mountain you see in the left of the picture. So when the flood stopped, Allah He made the mountain belly spit it like Muhammad hijab, you know, the mountain spit it. And then Abraham, Allah sent him to build the Kaaba again, but in the same location. What a stupid story. Who in the world can believe in such a madness and garbage? You want to take a swim? Look at this. Look at this disgusting. And by the way, Mecca is the worst, ugliest city in the world, especially during the Hajj. Dirt and garbage. Go watch videos. Go watch videos made by the one who did Hajj this year, not 10 years ago. Dirty, ugly, disgusting, crimes, molestation. You know, anyone is like, one of the funny things about Muslims, they say to you, we separate between women and men, but around the Kaaba they go mixed. And the man is not wearing underwear, and the woman, she is not wearing underwear, and you can imagine what will happen. Look at this. This is inside the Kaaba building. Do you see it? This is inside the Kaaba building. This is not outside. Which means inside the mosque. Do you see it? The mosque of the Kaaba. Look at this. Why God want to choose the location here? I mean, come on, move it like 500 meters away, where the ground is higher. I challenge any Muslim to tell me why Allah He chose such a stupid location for His Kaaba to be built on. That's impossible. This cannot be from God. And then the Muslims, they need to clothe the Kaaba. What is this about clothing the Kaaba? Since when a house need to wear burqa? Any Muslim can explain to us why the Kaaba need to wear clothes? What is that? As you see here, the Muslims are clothing the Kaaba. Please, Kaaba, please don't forget to put your coat on, because you might get cold or some men will see you. Everything about this ritual is a pagan ritual. They spend a lot of money, and look now the Kaaba. Look how the concrete, they build it from concrete, they fix it, they maintain it, money. But not long time ago, it was like this. Look at this. This is 1941. This is 1941. Not long time ago. Look at the Kaaba. Look at the water. Look at the mud. That's the most crazy religion. I'm not going to stay here long. Please feel free to share the video and let everybody see how stupid this cult is. This is absolutely is a pagan. And then don't forget that the Muslim, they have to kiss the black stone, and Muhammad says whoever kissed the black stone, or he touched the black stone in the Yemeni corner, which means the corner have the stones of Yemen from the moon temple. Allah, or sorry, if you touch them, your sin will be forgiven. Muhammad, he claimed that by touching stones in the Kaaba, your sin is forgiven. Who in the world want to believe in such a madness? Look at the sewage. Look at the sewage. This is the Kaaba of Islam. And now after the money, look what happened. Guys, look at this. They are building. Look what happened. Where it was and where it is now. Big Ben. Big Ben is in Mecca now. And they have the crescent moon in the top of it. Do you see it? They have the crescent moon in the top of it. This is 6 stars hotel. What the Kaaba was and what it became today. The oil of the money, or the money of the oil, because it's the same. Look at this. Muhammad, if he see this, he will not believe it. And by the way, there's some Photoshop here, like the colors, etc. Look at the Photoshop. Look what they do. They, So from this, we go back a little bit, and we see this. Look at the madness. How the Kaaba was, how the Kaaba is today. This is the real Kaaba. This is 1937. I wonder how it was in the year 600. If this is in 1937, and this is telling you that the Muslims, they ignore the Kaaba for long, because why the Muslim, the Ottoman Sultan, he have a very fancy palace, but the house of Allah is in a dirt. You know what I mean? Look at this. This is the Kaaba. This is not long time ago. I advise Allah to say thank you, Western, for provide us with this, with the science of engineering, so we can stop the flood of the Kaaba. And by the way, still until now, the flood is not stopping. It's not totally secure. It depends how much rain they will have. There's a video you can search. You can search right now. Search for the flood of Mecca, and you will see. By the way, until now, Mecca, they don't even have a sewage. This is why when the flood come, all the poo in the ground come out, because every house dig like a small, let us say, basement, a hole in the garden, where all the poo of the building go there, and then a big tank come and the vacuum machine suck it. But the old days it was without vacuum, it stay there. So when the flood come, everything in the poo holes come out and goes to the Kaaba, and everybody at the end of the day, including the sewage, have to glorify Allah. I'm glad that the sister, she agree that there's no way that this house can be the house of God, for a very simple reason. God, if he is the one who choose a location, he will not choose such a stupid location. At least he would choose a place where there's no flood. You cannot tell me that God, he choose a place where the flood will cover it every. And by the way, before, like when the flood covered the Kaaba usually collapsed, doesn't stay long, because remember, the concrete is something new. The Kaaba, yes, was from rocks, but between the rocks there's mud, and when water come, that will make it easy and collapse. It's going to like became like a pesquid. So why Allah he chose the wrong location? If there is any Muslim have an answer, please feel free, leave a comment under the video and show me your intelligence, and tell me what's wrong with your God to choose such a location where it is flooded every year. Thank you very much for watching.